Okay, so I think the other day when I left off, I was talking about the fact that her dad molested her in the very next room from Grandpa, 10, 15 feet away from it. Put a mattress up, covered up the window. I mean, he knew what he was going to do before he did it. I mean, to me that tells me he's been planning it. Um, there. And again, where he was arrested, he did confess. They have a written confession. He spent 3 days in jail. Last year over Thanksgiving, he was locked up. They picked him up the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then he didn't get released till Saturday the morning after. The Saturday after Thanksgiving. Since then, it's been court date after court date, month after month, reset, 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 reset consistently. All the meantime, while my daughter has been physically, emotionally, mentally just just spent. I had to get her in counseling to the point of, it was so bad in the beginning. I'm newly married. This year, January, it'll be 3 years I'm married. 4 years that we've been together this May. As I said in my previous post, I'm a stepmom to 4 of his other kids. 3 of those kids live in my household. We have them. And then, including my daughter. So I have 4 kids I'm totally responsible for. During this time when this was all going on, my husband works in construction. He was out of town majority of the time, usually about 6-7 months out of the time. So I had all these kids by myself, so basically, essentially, again, I was a single mom. And then having to deal with this on top of it. And, and my stepkids just didn't understand. They looked at it as, well, because I couldn't tell them what was going on. They just saw that something was wrong with Sonia, that I feel like they thought that I was, favoring her because she was my child and they were my stepkids. And when it got real bad at times where she would physically soil herself, and I'm talking wouldn't get out of bed because she was so physically and mentally just distraught over what had happened. She'd pee the bed, she'd poop herself. The mental anguish that I saw my child go through, I can't even describe it as a mother. It's the worst feeling to see your child like that, and there's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. There's nothing that I could say, or and I just wanted to fix it. I just wanted her to be okay again. I wanted to see the fire back in her eyes. I wanted to see this happy, healthy kid, and he took that from her. He stole it and he robbed it, and he made her an adult before she needed to be, and scared to go anywhere, and scared, because he told her if she ever told anybody, he would take her from me, he'd steal her from me, and she'd never see me again. I mean, these are the things that her father would tell her. A father is supposed to love their child, protect their child, be there to protect her from awful people like that. It's pretty sad that the person that you got to protect him from is yourself. And I don't think I'm ever going to get over this. I really don't. The guilt that I have from it. I've been through a lot in my life. I lost my mom almost 6 years ago to a horrible, horrible sickness. People always say, God only gives you what you can handle, but it's like, wow, how much more of this can I handle? I mean, nearly tore my marriage apart. My husband just didn't get it. I mean, bless his heart. Let's face it. I mean, how can you? He wasn't here. He didn't see what I was seeing. He just hear me talk about it. And, and I'm not trying to down my husband at all. In the beginning, I think he just thought that she was being overly dramatic. Most men just don't get the emotional side of it. They're not wired like women. They just think, okay, well, and he's a ex-military. So he just, when bad shit happens, you just, pick yourself up and carry on, get the job done. But you can't do that, not with situations like this. So I'm doing these videos, mainly just to put the awareness out there. They can happen to anybody. That don't be ashamed of this. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Also, just know that if you're going through this very thing, it's very frustrating in the beginning, with the courts and it seeming like it never is going to happen. Thank God the county I live in went through them and got a restraining order until she's 18. I do have court tomorrow. They offered him a plea bargain, 5 years probation. Unfortunately, again, it's he's never done anything in his previous past, so they're trying to go lightly on him. He's looking at felony 3. The total prison time is 10 years in prison, but they did offer him plea of 5 years probation, 15 years sex offender list, mandated counseling for sex offenders, and again, I've got the restraining order. Can't have anything to do with her till she's 18. And if she chooses to go get a lifetime one at that point, then she can get one. So then he therefore never can contact her. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Basically what I was told from the DA that they're just, they're going to tell him, you've had 2 months now to think about this. And so you either need to decide you're going to accept a plea. And if not, then we're moving to trial phase. So in the trial phase, I really hope we don't go to, only for the simple fact. It's not that I'm scared, because he confessed. They have a written confession. His story matches my daughter's to the T. It's just that I don't know what emotionally this is going to do to her. She has grown so much in the last year through counseling. And I finally have gotten my daughter back. Not fully 100%, but I would say at least 85 to 90% of the normal back. And I'm good with that. If that's all that is, I know she's going to be affected by this the rest of her life, but I do know for me, from my past, that you can overcome it. It does with time. The wound heals from it, and you can learn to trust again, and she's a lot better, and thank God for counseling and her wonderful counselor. So again, I'm just doing these, because really, it's therapeutic for me as well. I get to talk about what happens and, maybe help other people through whatever they're going through. I don't know. But I just felt compelled I need to do these. So tomorrow will be the court date. It'll be Thursday, November 14th, 2019. So we'll see what happens. I'll do another video after what I find out. But again, if you need to talk, feel free to hit me up or leave me a message on here, or send me an email, or leave me your email address or something, and I'm happy if I can just help anybody going through the same thing. All right, thanks for listening. Bye.